way, I'm not. If you're having a hot dog eating contest with no condiments, come on now.
Come on now, what are you doing?
That's madness, is what that is.
Doesn't a glass of water count as a condiment?
I mean, it's not even root beer, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey everybody.
Oh, what time is it?
It's Tuesday night. It's 9:05-ish. Thanks so much for staying tuned after the conclusion of NBA playoff basketball. It's time for What's on Joe Mind. As you can see, Rob is off tonight. He is detained by a school function, possibly the police. I don't know. We might hear him come in later. I can't tell you. I have no idea what the man's schedule is. But joining us instead, I mean, he's by no means a substitute for Rob. He was going to be on the show whether Rob was here or not. So I don't want to make it sound like Brian didn't have an in. He was going to be the guest this week anyway. But now he's just got one fewer person to talk to. But Brian Sauer, codename Iowa, is with us.
Woo!
And he'll be here to tell us all about the hottest online convention of the summer. Right after you watch our kick-ass theme sequence. Stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome to What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
Ooh.
Good.
We have unconvincing cheers and an open question. So that's great. That's wonderful. Joining me here in the top row, he is the former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand. It's the Hot Show, Mark Weber.
That's right. And the joy of my week was sending somebody a replacement hand for their broken Valaverse figure and sending the wrong one, the trigger one and not the open-handed one, and having him roast me on Facebook. He was so nice in email when he was asking for a replacement for the figure he broke.
That's usually how that goes, Mark.
Yeah. He wasn't as glib when I dropped into the thread. He was pretty thankful when the replacement came.
Yeah, they don't understand that the game you play.
Just I'm doing my best, man. Sorry you got the wrong free part. I'll send you another one.
Yeah, God forbid, man. Don't you dare ever be less than perfect.
I mean, it's lazy bastard customs, right? Just pop and replace. It can't be that hard. But
I don't know.
Some don't even paint. I don't paint.
Yeah, me either.
Whatever.
But we know somebody who paints quite a bit, and he's here in the bottom row. Yeah, and he's the head man over at Codename Iowa. And coming up on June 1st is his online convention, A.R.M.O.R. Brian Sauer joined the program today.
Thank you. Is this where we complain about our week?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh, awesome. It's only Tuesday, too. So, like, how much?
This ain't the first time you've been on the program.
How much is there to complain about, other than just being pulled in 15 million different directions with a couple different events and a handful of clients? So, it already put in enough work for a whole week. So, you got to do some more.
Right. We're keeping you from your nightly 15-minute nap. So
Right.
So if Brian just tails off and you hear a thud halfway through the episode.
That's right. It's bound to happen.
Don't be concerned. He has trained medical professionals on standby.
If you call my dog that, yes, trained medical professional.
Right. He just licks your face till you wake up.
Pretty much. Not even that much. It would probably just come and just lay on my chest and go to sleep.
So anyways, if you're catching us on Facebook tonight, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. Do something to trigger the algorithm over there. You got big money off Facebook last month, but like $2.47, I think.
There you go. Split three ways though.
I mean, that's almost enough to I mean, I guess we don't like split a candy bar 3 ways at $2.47 anymore.
It's half the shipping on your next beachhead win. So there you go. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, thereabouts.
This check is made out to What's on Joe Mind. If you want to give Rob less, that's up to you.
Right. But if you're catching us on the YouTube, be sure to do all that cool YouTube stuff. Give us a like over there and a thumbs up over there and a subscribe over there. That's that. I had the directions right and the labels wrong this week. I'm finding new ways to screw that up. Do all that cool YouTube stuff. Leave us a big person comment down below, and of course share us in all your social media circles. We appreciate it. The only way we're going to grow is with you guys, so get clicking. We don't ask you for much. If you have a little more than clicks to give away, we do have a Ko-fi account down below. Ko-fi, I don't, whatever, however you pronounce it. That's the easy way to get your name in the credits at the end of the show is by signing up for a monthly donation. You can be one of our sensational 17. I think that's what we're up to now.
Ooh, we're growing.
Yeah, we actually we went down one and up one this past month, so it's a different roster, but that's fine. Again, it's only if you got it left over.
I mean,
we're not here to put anybody in the poorhouse.
Yeah, and not to ignore the elephant in the room, but Surveillance Port's got a good post over there that people seem to be echoing quite a bit.
I've not been in the live chat at all for this point.
Well, you're missing it.
Surveillance.
Not that one above it.
Ko-fi account sounds like we're joining the New Day.
That's not even the same guy.
Oh wait, my bad. My bad.
Way up top. There we go. That's
all
what
right.
I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm old.
I made a post on the What's on Joe Mind, like as What's on Joe Mind today, and people were like, "Is that you, Mike?" I'm like, "No, Mike's not going to post and wish himself a happy birthday." I said, "Send him all your beachheads. The honcho commands it."
And you know what? I've gotten nothing in the. I'll be honest. I have not been on Facebook at all today. So my apologies to everybody there. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a Tuesday, so the answer to the inevitable question, what did you do for your birthday? Nothing. It's Tuesday. Nobody does things on Tuesday.
Look, man,
I'm doing a live stream about G.I. Joe on Tuesday. That's what I'm doing on Tuesday.
Look, man, birthdays are important. We're gonna celebrate. Yeah, man. Look at that. Cookies and cream.
Oh man. I will I will enjoy it telepathically.
No, I figured this out because it seemed kind of rude for me to eat cake in front of you. I'm gonna share my screen.
All right.
Hold on, this is gonna be.
All right, let me get you in the big window here.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it's the good stuff. Huh? I mean, it's your birthday if you want, but
yeah.
Yeah. Keep going.
All right. So while Mark is eating, let me go ahead. I'll get you back in the small window here. There we go. Help you out a little bit.
My cake got smaller. What the? That's some wizardry.
Right. We put you on a diet halfway through, Mark. We decided enough was enough.
It's about time, let's be honest. But
Michael Gene Fleming asks, he's running late. Did he miss anything besides introductory chatter? I'm kind of hurt by that because honestly, introductory chatter is what makes this show special.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. We chatter. Now I feel compelled to go through all of the live chat real quick just to.
Cheapest Big Spender has some foreshadowing going on. Bart wants to know if I eat red velvet cake, which would make sense. But cream cheese frosting sucks. Oh,
there's a way. There's a way to do it well, but it's not often practiced.
I ain't found it. Ugh.
Right. Firefly notes that introductory chatter is what squirrels do before they tear your eyes out. That's one feisty squirrel population you're dealing with there, man.
Be safe out there.
All right.
Jake Rose has the most terrifying post of all time, and Phil Donnelly knows what's up.
Jake Rose noting that cream head is the only frosting. I
can't even figure out what he meant to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost there too. Dustin Jeffrey notes that cream cheese frosting works on carrot cake, and that is true. You got a lot going on in carrot cake, so
that's on cake.
Carrot cake's good, man.
Carrot cake is ass. Look at this, though. That's cake, baby.
I mean, look, if you're asking me, is cookies and cream going to beat carrot? Absolutely, 10 times out of 10. But carrot cake's all right. Brian, your thoughts on carrot cake?
It's the only way I eat my carrots.
There you go. See?
All right. He broke the tie. Fair enough.
Man's trying to get some fiber here.
It's vegetables. It counts as one serving of vegetables as far as I'm concerned.
I love carrots, so maybe it's just I'm the wrong person to ask. Like I one of the few snacks I have in the house right now are baby carrots.
Mm.
You know, like those little misshapen carrots that they cut so they look like thumbs.
No, thank you.
Oh,
I have a news update.
All right. Well, it took you long enough.
It was a big piece.
I'd say I don't have any dishes around to show off, so I God forbid, I keep things kind of tidy, and I'm usually done eating before the show starts. So that's two points against me there.
Can we ban Matt Rubin for being double wrong?
Matt Rubin notes that carrot cake is second behind cheesecake. Ice cream cake is a close third, or a closet third.
It's like you singled on an 0-2 pitch. Because carrot cake, cheesecake, get that out of here.
I mean, both way higher on the list than I would put them. I like them both, but they're not they're not on the medal stand.
Yeah,
I like cream cake.
I like
ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake, fine.
Yeah, see, Dennis Fleming knows what's up. He had a fudge cake covered with melted chocolate with dinner. That's what we're talking about.
I just wish I wish he'd have said the only way you can make that sentence better is to replace with 4. Yeah, right. Now we're talking.
Doug Dello had some good hummingbird cake this weekend. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that is.
I'm really hoping it's not at face value, because that would be tragic and gross.
Nobody eats hummingbird. There's no meat on that bird.
I was gonna say that's small bites, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, what do you have with a fat hummingbird? Usually the cat gets them fastest.
How many hummingbird wings do you have to eat to get full? I mean, come on.
Right.
I'll have a large Coke, a side of fries, and 8,000 hummingbird wings with barbecue, please.
Right. Need the Jamaican jerk flavor, please.
Yeah, man.
But you know I'm going to get it now. You know I'm going to get it now.
It's your birthday, man. Yeah, man. On Mr. Mike's birthday, man, I'm going to tell you that everything going to be irie, man. Heavy.
All right. That's that for the record, Brian. That is Mark slipping back into his Bend, Oregon accent.
Yeah,
that's how they talk out there.
That is it.
We haven't just gone completely off the.
No,
we have just gone completely off the rails, but it's normal for us.
One love in the Bend, Oregon.
Oh, all right, Dustin Jeffrey. He knew what was up.
Yeah, he knows.
We're not gonna kill you with that because Lord knows some of you people are just whiny bastards, like Mark.
Mm-hmm. And the guy who wanted the replacement piece for his broken fig.
That guy too. He's special though. Anyways, what do you say? We've wasted enough of the world's time. Let's get into community calendar. Sound like a plan?
Do it.
Sure.
Sounds like a plan. we go.
I'm gonna call you out, Mike, for not warning us to put on our 3D glasses before it started. That was outstanding.
Yeah, that's our man AbsorbVids. So you can find him on Instagram at @AbsorbVids __. Putting together a nice deek one that I can use as kind of an evergreen. So we dig that. That one's gonna have to hang around a while. But now I've gone and lost the banner, and there we go. There we are. Now I can work all the buttons. First up, happening this weekend, it's another Inside Pitch promotion show. This one's going to be at the Metro Convention Center in Hickory. That is happening from 9 to 4. $5 gets you in the door. Kids 12 and under are free because apparently they got a bunch of them just hanging around. They're just giving them away. Also happening with Inside Pitch, they've got another show on June 8th. That one's going to be in Salisbury at the West End Plaza Event Center, also 9 to 4, also $5. Also, kids 12 and under are free. Free parking at all shows. Get all the details and updates at InsidePitchPromo.com.
I don't think there's a more North Carolina town than Hickory.
Hickory?
Unless they had one named like NASCAR Ric Flair.
Right. Which they might.
Maybe. It's the capital, I think.
It's 4 Horsemen, North Carolina.
That's pretty good. Dean Shesky, North Carolina.
Right.
It's a conflicted town.
Right. It's a town of inner strife.
Ray Caruth's in the trunk, North Carolina. What, too soon?
That's, yeah. We don't need to be making jokes there.
All right, fine.
But Dennis Fleming says that hummingbird cake is banana pineapple spice cake originating in Jamaica. Probably imported to Bend, Oregon.
Could be. I feel like that might be bait, though, to see if I'll agree with it, to expose myself as not being truly Jamaican. So I'm going to let that go.
Right. I'm just saying that it's possible that Bend, Oregon has some civic roots in Jamaica is all.
Yeah, like sister cities.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's close. Brian, I know you're in Iowa now, man. Where are you from originally?
Illinois.
Okay, so there's no accent there to speak of.
No, not really. Chicagoland. So no accent there.
Well, no, there's an accent in Chicagoland, but I thought you were like,
no.
I thought you were talking like most of Illinois.
No.
Which is the blandest place on earth.
Yeah.
That's why it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Iowa at least has corn. Illinois has soybeans. That's
That's
not an improvement.
Yeah, if you got me around my uncle long enough, then it starts coming out.
You turn into Bob Swirsky super fans.
Yep. Pretty much.
Talking up the Bears. But next up, coming up this weekend, SoCal Joe Show. That is on Sunday in scenic Temecula, California, out at the Temecula Embassy Suites. They are there from 10 to 3. $5 gets you in the door. $10 gets you in for early bird at 9 a.m. Kids 12 and under, again, are free. More details available for you there on Facebook. They do have an official guest, not just Biff McConkey Donk, but Jamie Sullivan will be in the building, selling his wares, which are wonderful, as we know.
Jamie's good, really good artist and a nice guy.
Yeah.
Haven't had the pleasure of meeting him in person, but bought in plenty of his work.
He's a good dude. That's one of the last. I don't have a lot of Joe art, but his cover of Ace and the Sky Striker above the Night Ravens in formation, I ate that up. So that's a big one down in the man cave, what I also call the basement, but whatever.
Right. The storage unit.
Pretty much.
How is that project coming along, Mark? I know you guys, what's going on with that?
Yeah, we're about done. As in, we've pretty much given up on it. But beyond that, I did get the basement quite a bit cleaner, so that's good. But
Does this mean you get to unpack your stuff again, or?
here's the deal, and the crying sadness of my life right now, and this is only going to fly with this audience, is when the sideshow 12-inch shows came out. I was working at McFarlane Toys, having a good time, but not making much money. And I looked at them, and they were gorgeous, right? But they were about what, $160 each, depending on what they came with.
Thereabouts.
And I looked at it and I said, I can't do that. I can't even dip my toe in that water. If they make Thunder or Steeler or Interrogator, I might bite the bullet on one if they make one of my like top 5. But other than that, I can't go there. Can't swim in that. It's okay to realize the limits of your own wallet and say, I can't swim in that pool. And so I never had one, not ever, not ever, not ever. And years later, when I got on the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro, a guy who had been on it, a director, Mike Baylog, great guy, still there, which is an accomplishment.
Right.
Said, hey, Webb, I got some Joe stuff in my office. You want to come take a look? And I pretty much bamfed into his office to take a look. And he had in-box sideshows of Destro and the Baroness. And I'm like, that's awesome because it's like a match set, right?
Right.
So I had those in the basement for years, but have since been packed up and moved to off-site storage. And I happen to have one of the few voices I have it in with is Arthur Burghardt, who's fantastic, great guy, and calls me once in a while, which is awesome because I can't believe it still happens or ever happened that Destro's on my phone. That's pretty cool.
Right.
But
not many people have the caller ID pop up Destro,
right?
But you and I are on that list.
Yes, I know, and I'm not alone, but it's the only one for me, so it's special. The other half, I've only met Morgan Lofting once, and she was lovely, but she has no idea. She doesn't really know who I am. But we're gonna see her coming up in Augusta.
We hope.
So we hope. Yeah. Well, she's gonna be there. I'm gonna make it happen. So I would love to get these 2 boxes signed. And I have the wherewithal to make that happen, right?
Right.
The opportunity is there. The cost is probably negligible. The only problem is I packed those away in you remember in the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yeah, I have no idea where these 2 things are. They are together, but anyway.
I know what you're saying on that one. I have stuff that's still it's still packed in the same receptacles that I put them in when I moved from Kansas City, and that was 20 years ago. So I feel you on that. So not a lot of it is still there, but some of it is still in that same either Rubbermaid bin or cardboard box or whatever.
Yeah, I have a couple like that too. And in your brain, you're like, well, they're still in perfect condition just inside that box, but you have no idea. Right? Like, come on, I think my Dragonfly is in one of those, like on top sideways. You think those rotors are straight? Come on.
I have a good feeling about the stuff I have packed from back then because I figured it was going to be going away for a while. I bought the packing peanuts. So provided something hasn't crawled in and made a home in there, it's probably still in okay shape. Unless, again, barring a complete disaster.
I just remember as a kid when I packed up all my Joes and went off to college, the one thing I put up in the attic, because I knew you couldn't pack it all, was the Tomahawk, right?
Right.
Double floppy rotors. So I had it basically like on a pedestal, literally, upstairs in the attic where nobody would get to it. And then when I came back, look for it 3 years later, those things were like spaghetti, just from the heat in the attic.
Right.
It looked ridiculous.
Right.
And it wasn't my fault. I blame Rob.
Sure.
So,
but those rotors drooped down over the canopy like uncut bangs.
It wasn't even like they all just flopped. Like they were like meh. Like it looked like they had arthritis. They were going like 9 different directions. Like, the hell is this?
Oh, yeah. It's that's one thing, man. If anybody ever has replacement blades in the Tomahawk. That's one of those that you just can't be mad at them for.
Yeah,
because that's just not something that there's no way for those to age well. Gravity, just normal gravity, takes its toll on something that's designed to be that flimsy.
I drove back to Arizona State all crestfallen. This is like 98 or so. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get me one of those Desert Apaches off eBay. Get me a new helicopter.
Foolish. Foolish.
So I doubled down.
Anyhow, at SoCal Joe show, they do have some exclusives. They're all related to this classified Manla figure. It's just a repaint of Stalker, but it's great work. Be sure to head over to their Facebook page and check that out. Manla includes his beret. He's got a jump jetpack. He's got a parachute, and he's got his normal accessories, which I believe is the submachine gun, the pistol, and the knife. Again, just like Stalker from a couple years back in the classified line. And again, they did a nice job repainting him and making him look like one of these Argentina exclusive Joes. So great job to the folks over at SoCal.
You want to make one custom ever? Try doing camo by hand.
Right. And then try doing like 50 of them or whatever they've got for sale at the show.
Yeah.
They do a great job, but I bet you can tell which ones were number 49 and 50 off the line because they're like, whatever.
The one that's all blue with one stripe on it. Yeah.
Or they just use spray paint on the front, just like, there you go.
Even his face, everything's just blue. The whole thing.
Whatever. Blue. Yeah, it's like Blue Man Group, the new subgroup of the G.I. Joe team.
Patrick Stralco is a big fan of the parachute, calling it fire. So there you go.
I think I got to salute anybody who parachutes off a jetpack. Make sure to kick it far away.
Right. Yeah, Phil says that now we know Mark's origin story. We know Mark's villain story.
Yeah, part of it.
Villain origin story. Tomahawk, the Tomahawk, and then the Apache drove him insane.
What's that? Oh, holy smoke!
But anyways, if you want to know availability and pricing and all that stuff, I don't have it for you, but they will over at the SoCal Joe Show Facebook page. So be sure to check them out there once we're done with the program tonight. Next up, hey, happening this weekend too. If you're not going to be on the West Coast, then be in Ohio for the Roma Collectibles Parking Lot Toy Show. That is happening Sunday morning-ish. I don't know. Just whenever they're open, they're going to be running the parking lot show. That is out at their store site at 1030 Upper Valley Pike in Springfield. Again, if they're open, then the lot's open. If you see somebody in the lot, they're selling stuff. Will they look as cute as the Yeti and Staff Sergeant Sea-Nugs there? Probably not.
Nope.
But still, they may have great deals on toys for you. And they're probably more talkative. But again, as you know, Roma Collectibles is the sponsor of Community Calendar here on the big program. And let me get their placard up here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. They are open Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 7, Sunday, 12 to 5, at that same address, 1030 Upper Valley Pike in Springfield, Ohio. You can see there's Aaron, there's Mary Mercenary. They are the store's proprietors. So be sure to stop and say hey. But again, don't make any sudden moves. They will attack if provoked, and they are very easily provoked.
I got to give kudos to the Yeti for trying to band camp Aaron right there. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, if the Yeti's going to band camp somebody, that's the guy.
Yeah, I like it.
It's be appreciative. Keep his scalp nice and toasty for a change.
I believe it's Freddie the Yeti. Just saying.
Is it?
I don't know, I made that up, but it's pretty catchy. My middle name is a Ting, you know.
I don't know if he's got an actual name, so I'll try and
he does now.
I'll try and make that catch on. Let me run that past. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said trademark and copyrighted by Mark.
That's it.
There you go.
Give me my royalties.
Right. You're just going to get points, Mark.
Come on now.
You get points. They give you a percentage of all the Yeti merchandise they sell.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Right.
True that.
That's a lesson harshly learned here in the world of podcasting at the very least.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Bart
you're
asks,
an
how much
artist.
kids there? Everybody's free here, so whoever you can make off with, no cost whatsoever.
Hey, you're an artist. Draw me something. It's like that Seinfeld episode where he dated the masseuse, and all he wanted was a back massage, and she wouldn't give it to him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Draw me something.
Right. Totally on her side on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Firefly says that that someone is and has been for a long time collecting free kids as a result of this podcast. The tragedy. Well, you know what? It probably better than those kids were doing besides. So I refuse to see that as a tragedy. Bart says Mark gets store credit only usable on Mad Marauders barbecue.
Good point.
How I have told folks to bring those to Joe Fest for you to sign.
Hey man, I'll sign anything.
Right.
I got no problem with that. But
right, the likeness on that one is uncanny.
Yeah, it looks just
it looks just like you, and then on top of it, it's a joke you got a lot of good mileage out of.
People will bring it and be like, "Will you sign my whole Mad Marauders set?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Right. Right. Look, man, there's something weird when people ask you to sign autographs. I have not signed many autographs in my day, but it has happened sometimes, once in a while. It is strange. It is odd, but at the same time, whatever, man, put it in front of me, and I'll if you really want my signature that badly.
Yeah,
I know it's not gonna be good on any checks. So here you go.
I remember a guy at a McFarlane booth once brought up our first exclusive, LaDainian Tomlinson Super Bowl. So it was the first one we did. It was a low run. It was a big nightmare. It was before I joined the company, but it was like first come, first serve. But the guy before me had a secret list of board members who he was saving them for. Just a terrible idea. And it was just anarchy and chaos, and everyone was mad. But there weren't many of them, and they were pretty valuable back in the day, a couple $100. And a guy brought one to the booth a couple years later, signed by Tomlinson. At least it looked legit, like a Tomlinson auto. And he wanted the whole McFarlane group to sign it as well. And I'm like, if you really want an auto, you bet. I'll sign for anybody, but I'm not signing it first. Somebody else is putting their Chuck King on that.
Someone else is destroying the value of this long before me.
I am not going to be the first one. Like, come on. And sure enough, he had like 4 booth people sign it, including me. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
Me and LaDainian hanging out. You can almost hear the doo-doo-doo-doo of the value dying on that exclusive. So
right.
I assume he opened it at some point.
Just keeping that empty packaging with all the signatures on the shelf off to the side, because it's still worth something, darn it.
Such a bad idea.
Hey, whatever.
How do you tell a fan who's being nice, look, man, this is a really bad idea. Give us something else to sign, right? We'll sign your forehead.
Right. Well, just ask for clarification. Be like, are you sure you want me to sign this incredibly valuable collectible? Only tanking whatever value it may have to you? If they still say yes, then whatever, you sign it.
This is a $400 toy before Tomlinson's autograph, when he was the best player in the NFL. And now you're going to make it worth about $150 by the time we all sign it, because nobody's going to want it, and they're just going to buy it to crack it open.
Now, here's my question for you, Mark. What were you doing making a Super Bowl exclusive for LaDainian Tomlinson? Did he ever play in a Super Bowl?
No,
so.
The trick at McFarlane was we had to plan that stuff so far out that our Super Bowl exclusives were always homages to the home team, wherever that Super Bowl was. So the Super Bowl was in San Diego. So they made Tomlinson.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
One year we had 2 Jacksonville Jaguars. So if you're looking for a Mark Brunell and it was after Brunell. If you're looking for a Fred Taylor and a who's the kid from Marshall, the big quarterback?
Chad Pennington?
No, he's a little quarterback from Marshall.
How about David Garrard?
No, it wasn't Garrard. It was a different guy. Anyway, hey, help me out there. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback's a big African American quarterback.
But Joe Fan 84 would like to know what Joe projects the honcho worked on. Well, if it happened at Toys R Us and came in a blue packaging between 2014 and 2016, that's Mark.
Pretty much it. Yeah. It ended. The last one, the cutoff was the Cobra Missile Command headquarters, and I was gone before that came out. Let go in April of that year, and it was a San Diego Comic-Con bit. That's also the only one Bobby Valla and I got to both work on. Byron Leftwich.
There you go. Derek Holloman with the save there.
Derek Holloman with the win.
That's who I was thinking of, but I put the wrong name on him.
There you go. But yeah, the only Joe product that came out that Bobby Valla and I got to work on together was that Cobra Missile Command headquarters, which came out posthumously as far as my Hasbro career went.
Right. It was barely thumously for his Hasbro career.
Yeah, he lasted longer than me, but
slightly, yeah. But I actually have the Cobra officer from that set, but that's it.
It was a good set. I was happy with that.
Don't know how I managed that, but
the Revolution set, I think that was mainly Jetfire, but it had a little bit of everything. It had Action Man and ROM and a Dire Wraith and a bunch of Micronauts, and it didn't really make sense, but it kind of worked out. I was happy with that one. But the inside baseball there is they were like, how are we going to protect the trademark for these 7 Micronaut names without making figures of all of them? I'm like, I know. We'll just make little tiny guys, little slugs, not even articulated. Put them in a Comic-Con pack.
That's the infamous Renegades roadblock.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
We wanted to get it out, and I didn't know my time was getting short, but I knew we were getting squeezed for item count every year. And I'm like, I'm getting that out somewhere. So yeah, that was big. I was really happy with that.
Yeah, that's a huge get, even though it was in a very limited capacity.
Yeah, I did some of that. Like I put Alpine in a 3-pack because that Alpine was a nightmare for collectors to find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was scary.
So I did that. I did the Zombie Viper 2-pack. Not that I don't want to take too much credit for putting desired troop builders together in a 2-pack instead of putting the Heat Viper with Blowtorch. But I mean, none of that's revolutionary, but it also wasn't being done.
Right.
So I was happy with that. And the cry and shame, and this isn't new news, people have heard this before, but the cry and shame when Toys R Us backed out of their big vehicle packs that they had been doing, the one that got canceled was an Arctic Dragonfly fighting an Arctic Stinger Jeep. For the last piece of the mass device that was the one in the hard to find multi-pack years before, and just the chef's kiss was it was going to come with 2 different new soft rubber gray tow cables that the Dragonfly would use from the winch to pick up the piece, but they would also fit on your Mauler or your Wolverine if you just happened to be missing those broken tow cables. They would have been a different color, and they would have been a softer plastic, so there would have been no way to mistake them. But I wanted to see those going for $50 each in 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted, and they canceled it on me.
Wasn't there also a Vamp that came with Rock and Roll version 2?
It was the Hammer. Was one of the few old vehicle molds that hadn't been used. Like they decided to make the Ostriker 8 times and never once the Hammer. And the Hammer's a really good vehicle. So it was going to be the Hammer with Rock and Roll version 2 as the driver against something else. I think it was a Rattler, some funky colored Rattler.
That's a big set.
It would have been really big. It would have been cool too, but.
Did you have any mock-ups or workups of that?
There was art done for it, and there was I I don't remember ever seeing anything physical on the hammer, but
Yeah.
we had a first sample of that dragonfly and that stinger, and ooh,
Oh wow.
the all white dragonfly. And I think we made
Uh-huh.
the cockpit, instead of smoky gray, it was kind of a light blue.
Oh,
It
nice.
it was a really good look. And the designer who promised me that the new Wild Bill would fit in the old Dragonfly cockpit, you had to take all his web gear off and his hat, I think,
Yeah,
to
probably.
kind of wedge with his feet just pushing the chin cannon out, right? Like I was really unhappy about what I'd been told and what the reality was.
Yeah, yeah. That 25th anniversary Wild Bill was, we'll just say he was fraught with problems.
Yeah, there were some issues. I don't mind losing the web gear so much, but Wild Bill ain't flying without his hat. Come on.
Right.
But it was a good set.
I remember when I got my Dragonfly when I was a kid, and I had the hardest time reconciling the fact that Wild Bill had to sit in the back seat so that he could actually look forward,
right,
instead of looking up in the rotor blades in the front seat.
No, I mean, that is where the pilot is supposed to sit, though.
Right, but that's not how it was in the package on the on the painting. Yeah, and and at that point, that's all I cared about, was wanted to have that look. Good Lord, you guys hear that?
Yeah, we do.
The mailman.
Yeah. Something's going on.
We know that's not Mark's incredibly macho dog. So
no, that's not Emma Frost. She's sleeping somewhere.
But Rob is in the building, so we can start now.
Nice.
Anyhow,
Firefly knows what's up. The Hammer's a great vehicle. I'm sorry I didn't get it to you. Blame Toys R Us.
Right. He just restored one to 100% yesterday. One of his top 5 vehicles in Joe. There you go. This part, did the dog just yell butthurt?
I don't know what's going on down there. I have no idea. But yeah. I just texted my wife and said, "Can you do something about that? Because it's a little annoying."
There we go. He's fishing for a soundbite, is what he is.
That's crazy.
That's all right. Animals are easy co-stars on our program, Brian. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, Mark, on that Rock and Roll V2, is that what essentially we got from the club, or
after Toys R Us basically canned vehicles, and I don't blame them, right? I inherited those giant vehicle packs. I would have never pitched that, right? Make them singles, so then guys will buy 3 Arctic Stingers, right?
Right.
But I inherited it, and eventually they went, "These are too expensive. They're too big. They don't really move." And I'm like, "I know. Can we single them up? No, we can't do. All right, fine." So at that point, the club had asked if they could do Rock and Roll version 2, and it was one of the few times that I told them no, because and not that I was a pushover, but I give Brian and his crew a lot of credit because they seem to know exactly kind of where to play in the sandbox. So they weren't ever asking for stuff that was a hard no, but they knew what hadn't been made and what was popular that maybe we weren't mining. But that one I said, no, we're gonna do that one. But when we didn't, when it got canned, I told Brian, "Hey, if you want that, you can have it now." And so that's how the club got that Rock and Roll V2. And I think we had already done the parts building and everything on that one. So
nice.
It was an easy
they did their homework with the club. They knew what to fish for, and whatever your feelings on FubPud may have been, they have you can't deny that they always did their homework on that side of things.
I know sometimes the show execution wasn't exactly what they wanted, right? But those guys worked hard, and they knew the brand, right? They knew the brand better than most of the people running the brand over the last 20 years at Hasbro. Present company excluded. That's not a dig on the current team. But before I was the first guy to get put on Joe, aside from Daryl. But usually there's always, the me, basically. The people in my role were people that did not want to be there. and were looking to get out for years.
Right.
So I always thought the pub didn't get enough credit and got way too much hate from the fans.
All right. Well, you know how it goes, man. It's always the creakiest wheels that get the grease. I'm sure there were lots of us that made sure to go and thank that team every year on our way out of JoeCon. So
yep.
Hopefully they took that for what it was worth.
Hey, it's super easy to run your own show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, if you just plan it ahead of time, then nothing goes wrong.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly it. Yes. Smooth as glass every time.
Yeah, there's a number of shows that have been run on this panel today. A number. Ugh. I'm not going back. Not again. No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, I got an idea. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
It's going to be big.
Huge.
It's called WebCon.
Next up is June 1st and 2nd, Iron City Comic-Con in Birmingham, Alabama. That's the one that's got all the turtle guys guesting at it. Includes Townsend Coleman, Jim Cummings, John Delancey, Michael Golden, Ray Park and Rob Paulson, Brent Spiner, and several more guests. You get all the details, ticket information, etc., at IronCityComicCon.com.
Also, Dr. Isaac Yankum, DDS. He'll be there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So all dental care at the show will be provided free of charge.
Right.
Rob, with the my favorite complaint, this stuff's too expensive. I only bought 3 of each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
You sent me the wrong free part, you jerk.
Clearly that wound is just just totally healed over for you.
I mean, it's recent. It's not deep. It's like a paper cut. It's like a paper cut, right? Or a hangnail. You're like, God, killing me.
You'll forget all about it next week, but for right now, it's present and there. Yeah.
And I think if you whack that mole like 100 extra times, maybe it won't happen again. We'll see. I bet they're not. I'm just good to know that community, but I bet they're not used to customer service guys jumping on their threads,
right?
And being like, "What'd you say?"
I'm gonna guess he had no idea too. Like you probably had no idea what you did, even after you posted to it.
I think that's true, but I think he knows now.
But Matt Rubin says that every single time I hear Iron City Comic Con, I think it's up here around Pittsburgh. No, man, that's the Steel City. It's not the Iron City. What are you doing to Pittsburgh, man? You're Mr. Pittsburgh. You're engaged in Pittsburgh slander.
Maybe the cheesecake and carrot cake has gone to his head.
That could be. It could be. Could be.
That is also a fresh wound, but I'll let it go. I promise.
And of course, towards the middle of June, we got Heroes Convention. That has happened at the Charlotte Convention Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. You get all the tickets and info there at heroesonline.com. Guests include Bob Camp, Larry Hama, Jim Shooter, and just pages upon pages of comic book related guests. If you are in the comic fandom, Heroes Convention is really one of the big events on the calendar, but we figure we better make you aware of it because the guest list there is always huge and always can't see, or can't miss, rather. Must see. Can't see. Oh my God. That's the John Cena con.
Right? Yeah. It's the can't see convention.
Can't see con. Oh. Jim Smith says that Mark better promote the show. Goes boss. Is that? I don't know what we're trying to say there, Jim. Help us out.
Bobby is rolling out to a show in Western Connecticut.
Oh, well.
On one-day show on Saturday. I'll look up the details. But
how are we not having that on community calendar, Mark?
The basic rules are people got to send it in. Right?
I thought you were going to send that in.
Man, like I got nothing else going on. I had to go on a cake run today. I had to ship out a guy's wrong arm for his Pandora figure. Like you can see, there's cracks in the dam over here.
Jason Berg asks, "Hey, what's on Joe Mind, guys? Have you noticed Walmart doesn't have classified since they reorganized the pegs?" Dude, every Walmart is a different animal, so I couldn't tell you what one. I could tell you what one store is doing. It wouldn't mean a damn thing to the store 3 miles down the block.
Yeah.
Relax, man. Classified's not going anywhere. You might not be, maybe your Walmart's not going to carry them, but I promise you that they'll be available to you somehow and somewhere fairly easily.
We used to get that feedback on the McFarlane board all the time. Oh, the Walmarts I've looked at, all we get are New York Yankee figures. And I'm like, and how many is that?
Right.
Right? How many Walmarts have you surveyed, my friend?
Right.
Like,
there's 3 or 4 large ones around here, and there is no consistency from one to the next, right? None. So I am not even going to wager guesses as to Walmart distribution or Walmart logistics or any of that stuff. They make no sense. They make no sense to the people that I know and who used to work for Walmart, right? They were guessing while they worked there. So don't ever worry about, oh, well, this don't ever try to predict market trends based on what's available at your local Walmart. Your local Walmart is probably strung out on meth.
I was going to say, I went to one local one and I found the Joes and the Masters of the Universe hanging out in the diecast toy aisle, the vehicles, cars. Yeah. Because they apparently ran out of room on the shelf space, or ran out of shelf space.
Yeah.
In the action
that is a lot of times. Just,
yeah.
They're stuffing things in there wherever they'll fit because there's no choice. But you were saying, Mark, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't saying nothing.
Brian, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I got to say.
All right, I'm sorry. I thought I was cutting you off there.
No.
The only store I've seen, like national chain, that has kind of a unified planogram everywhere is Dollar General, because every one of them looks like a bomb went off. Right?
Just unload the truck in the center of the store,
That's
and people will gradually take what they need from there.
There was at one point at one of my bad toy jobs, they needed one of their own products from Dollar General, or they needed a bunch of them for like a display or a campaign or something. So I got sent out to hit all the New England Dollar Generals I could in a day, and I think I got to like 8, which is pretty good given the travel involved. And the first one I walked in, and I said, "Ooh, I guess we're restocking today." And then every one I got to was like worse than the next or the one before. It was like somebody was going ahead of me to mess it up and make my job worse. It was so bad. I went to 8 and I came back with 3 of the item, 3 total. I'm like, there you go.
When I was in St. Louis and living south of St. Louis, it was right at the time when they put out that Dollar General wave. Those 2 waves, the Duke Shipwreck Snake Eyes bunch of there were 6 Dollar Generals between home and work. And so of course, being the dedicated Joe Sider that I was, got out and hit every single one of them one day, and 2 of them were just stocked to the gills, and the other 4 were completely like there were no toys at all, let alone Joe's. So again, take from it all what you will. I will never complain about Target's logistics. I know Mark will because it's Target, but for what they try to do, for as prevalent as they are, for as big an organization as they are, they do okay with that sort of thing. And it takes a lot of work to get to that point. So my God, if you're not putting that kind of effort into it, and I know Walmart is not, it's disaster. It's a mess. So good luck.
But and here you go. Here's a little side bit. When I first started Hasbro, I sat next to a designer named Andrew Franks for about 3 months, and then he was actually in the first round of layoffs. So I barely got to know him. And like 2 weeks before he left, he was like, "Hey, I heard you like G.I. Joe," and I'm like, "Well, I'm a huge Joe fan." He's like, "Oh, let me show you some cool stuff I'm working on." he was the guy, the brain behind all those Dollar General stuff.
Yep.
And is now the one of the OGs at Boss Fight Studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I barely knew him, and we only connected for like 2 weeks because we were like, "Holy, that Joe stuff's awesome."
Yeah,
And then-
we had him on the show not long after that, and I know there were tentative plans for more waves of those Dollar Generals figures because they went over really well.
Yeah.
But obviously when he went, they kind of ended that project. So
they came back knocking during the 25th anniversary, wanting the same kind of stuff.
right.
And I was really optimistic that I was going to be able to sneak out some troop builders and stuff like that. But the difference in price point at that point made it,
Right.
it never got off the ground, which broke my heart because I thought we were always fighting item count, right? And I was like, "Ooh, here's a way. I'm going to get sneaky, pull some of that Marvel dark arts stuff where they would put like one of their characters would be named like Heroes for Hire. And then they put out both Power Man and Iron Fist in a wave and counted as one item count, which was garbage, but they got away with it for years.
Right.
And whenever I tried something like that on Joe, I didn't have to on Transformers because we had lots of item count. But when I tried that stuff on Joe, they were like, "Nah, you can't be doing that Marvel stuff on Joe." And I'm like, "That is bull." You're actually calling it Marvel stuff. You know what it is, but you're only shutting me down.
It's yeah, I encourage everybody to go back through our audio catalog. We've been doing this for 13 years now. I understand that the news from 13 years ago may not have a lot of value to you, but there's lots of guests with lots of great information from over the years, lots of insights, and it behooves all of you. I sometimes forget to or I feel like I tell stories from back then, and it feels like, oh well, we've done this, we've told this story so many times, and I forget that, a lot of you guys are kind of newer to our show, but really 13 years of audio archives. Go back through it and listen to some of those interviews. Andrew Galgan being a smartass. Sorry, Mike, always forward, never back. Well, sorry, Andrew. You can hear the words from the man himself if you go back and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow. He's throwing, like, I think that's a Marine saying, isn't it? I don't know.
Something like that.
Hey, it's back on the calendar again. Joe Fest is happening June 21st to the 23rd at the Augusta Convention Center in Augusta, Georgia. Guests include me and the honcho, Racktime Rob, and I assume others.
And some.
Yeah, there's got to be a few, right? Tickets and information available at Joe Fest USA. So, yeah, it just we needed to make sure that we get this back in community calendar because we got folks doing stuff in our name. So we got to make sure we're driving up business for them for those who are going to be in attendance. The Patch Czar Staff Sergeant C-Nugs patch that is happening. That is going to be at his booth, available from Patch Czar. Price and availability to be determined, but keep an eye out for that. I would tell you, make sure to get a hold of that early because there's not going to be a ton of them, and there's probably going to be some demand. Lord knows I've told him to hang on to 4 or 5 of them, and we will gladly purchase. So whatever he's making -5 is what's going to be out there. And then also our good friend Techno Viper 3D, that's Mike Kleppinger from the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast. He is doing the Staff Sergeant C-Nugs in action figure. That is also available. I'm not sure where this is going to be. I think it's going to be with us. So if you find us, which, again, at some point we'll have that information for you, hopefully sooner than later. But this one will be with us, and we'll figure out price on that as well. I think there's going to be 50 of these. So again, take out the 4 or 5 that we're going to buy, and the rest of them are going to Michael Kleppinger. There is a backpack peg for Staff Sergeant C-Nug, so you can put the little beachhead backpack on him too. But I don't think he stands with it, is what Michael said. So
Mike's going to buy 2 just to take the gun off and give it to that new beachhead that's coming up.
It's not in scale for that though. It's in scale for the 3 3/4 guy.
Oh, well, either it's still better than the gun he's coming with.
Well, absolutely. Mark II Design does have the beachhead gun available in a packet with him. So head over to his web store if you need that desperately. I think it's also got an airborne M16 with the bayonet and the stock.
Nice.
So that's there for you if you don't mind spending a few bucks there. Greg Augustin asks, what's the scale of the in-action figure? I think it's just a couple inches tall. Like I said, the gun is in scale with the 3 3/4 inch figure, so it's not a huge one.
It's about the size of a chicken nugget.
Right. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, about, yeah.
Word on Chunky Tank Kitties. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be time to do another run of Chunky Tank Kitties this year. But be sure to let Mike know over at 3D or 3D Printing Podcast know that's what you want to see for maybe next year. And hopefully they'll get another run on those done.
Mm-mm. Or maybe it'll be the new Patriot Grizzly Chunky Tank Kitty. Very chunky.
Super chonk.
Very chunky.
With special Dr. Saxo variant.
Right.
He'd be easier to paint, man. He's black and he's got just the white belly.
Yeah,
so.
He's got his tank written all over him.
Right.
Give him a his tank with a white stripe down the belly. Oh. I like where this is going.
Right. That's it for community calendar. That's all we got there. Lord knows we like to fill time with community calendar. So let me play that cool new outro for us one more time. And you saw the email address up there. If you have an event that you'd like us to plug on community calendar, send it on over at whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We are on all the social medias. You see all that stuff down below, but I encourage you to use the email because sometimes the private message function on those, particularly Facebook and Instagram, kind of iffy when you got these business pages the way we do. So that email is a way to guarantee that we're going to at least see it before the show whatever the next program is that comes up that we'll be able to put it in there for you.
I don't know who's out there hitting the business pages like What's on Joe Mind and Eternal Baseball with is anyone available to chat thing, but stop, because they actually judge you on how quickly you respond to customer questions. So you have to respond, which sucks because I know it's a bot. Nobody's open. 8 people aren't opening with that line a week. I got to be honest with you.
Right. So just type in no.
I just keep doing thumbs ups, or I've been doing a lot of Pinky in the Brain responses when they're like, "Is anyone available to chat?" And I go, "I think so, Brain." But isn't Regis Philbin already married? Like, but I only got so many of those. So
I love that line. Love that line. Regis Philbin.
I think so, Brain. But how do we get the monkey back in the pants?
Zaybot CGCS, our July events too early. You might not see them for a couple of weeks, but if you send them to us, I can at least get them ready to go. There's actually a hard list where I write things down and then transfer them over. So if we're getting on the hard list, that's important. Torpedo Mike says that Staff Sergeant C-Nugs is either bite size or fun size. So
sooner or later, maybe it's a whole year from now, but there are other shapes of chicken nuggets, right? So sooner or later, the boot is coming in. I just know it.
I think we would have to pay royalties on the boot, so probably not.
Is that true?
Dude, McDonald's is extremely litigious.
They trademarked the boot.
They trademarked their shapes. Their whatever 5 shapes for the chicken nuggets. Yeah.
Aren't we using one of them? Ish?
No. Well, I mean, it's a chicken nugget, so I think it's all going to be kind of derivative at a certain extent.
Okay.
But no, that's actually the one the one that's being used on our stuff there is actually just drawn originally. Apparently the shape of the one that's been in all the trailers, Absorbid's got that off of another piece of art. So you put the face on it, but the nugget shape was from something else.
So we're safe from the boot.
Right. So we redesigned the nugget that we're using in the stuff that's being put out at Joe Fest.
All right. Good. But it does play wham when you push the button on the back.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. Launches into Careless Whisper sax solo for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's time for the news. First news item. It's a light news week this week, so hopefully we won't waste too much more of your time. But Entertainment Earth, it has something up in their drop zone that's of note. Looks like on June 4th is going to be the first day of Yojo June. I can't read that on the tiny screen that this is presenting itself to for me, but basically it's got a pun in there about saying yo. So we have a pretty good idea that this is a G.I. Joe drop happening on Tuesday, June 4 at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 o'clock Eastern for those of us in the God-fearing time zones. Which is about right. Last year, Yojo June started up pretty early in the month, so that makes sense. And frankly, it's nice to finally be getting to June because it's been a few dry weeks here. Believe me, when you're doing a weekly news show, and I stress out sometimes that we're not going to be able to fill it, and then I forget who I do a show with.
Yeah. And then we wrapped up community calendar at 10:08.
Right, and then community calendar takes an hour and a half, and then I stop worrying about it. But anyways, nothing past this. I don't know what to tell you as far as what else is coming on June 4th. Past something is probably coming on June 4th. You can check that listing out yourself. You head over at entertainmentearth.com, go into the drop zone. It's in their menu at the very top left of the page. You can check that out for yourself. Next news item.
Doo-doo.
Hey, look, it's another Hiya Toys release, this time Crocmaster and Fiona. And they look pretty cool. The shoulders certainly look better than Tomax and Zamots do.
Low bar.
Right. Brian Sauer, what'd you think?
Pretty nice. I wonder how articulated that Croc Fiona really is.
Right. That's really this is the first time I've really gotten the urge to get in on one of these figures, and it is entirely because of that crocodile.
Oh yeah.
But no. It looks like the top jaw, and it looks like the 4 legs.
Yep. It should have some tail movement. It would be a shame if it didn't.
Right. Mark Weber, what do you think?
Firefly sums up my one complaint, because otherwise I think it's a really slick fig. But
what do you mean this one, bro? That pinhead, bro?
His head is the size of his upper shoulder, right? Like,
he's beefy, man. He's just hitting the pec deck. Just really
apparently. I really liked this whole line pretty much. And I think I have them pre-ordered, maybe through Cotswold somewhere. I have the Snake Eyes. I want the Storm Shadow. That's my Joe Fest target. I want to find that Storm Shadow. But somebody pointed out this week that I don't think anybody has anything newer than Storm Shadow. Have none of these actually made it out into even? Now I'm not even talking in the U.S., like even overseas. Do any of these actually exist post Storm Shadow?
I have no idea. As somebody who has not ordered any of them, I don't know what to tell you on that, Mark.
I think I have like 9 on pre-order. So now all of a sudden I've turned skeptic. Not that I don't like the line or don't think they look good, but how many more can you put out as down the line before you come out with figure 3?
Right. I'm wondering too, is it logistics that are holding things up? Like, are these figures just done and sitting in a warehouse somewhere getting ready to get shipped? Or are they kicking the can paying for the first couple with the most recent couple. I don't know. Jake Rose legitimately asking, are they on the Rob Liefeld Endgame release schedule? It appears to be so.
The difference is when these come out, it doesn't make Rob cry.
I mean, it's a Rob Liefeld comic, so it will anyway. But again, I haven't so much as gotten any of these in hand to report back on what they are quality wise or anything like that. So I'll refrain from that. I haven't even seen the Snake Eyes myself. So
that's a really good point. Jake Rose touches on here. If you look at the one on the left, the photo on the left, that's not Liefeld, but on the right, with the foot behind the bush and behind the crocodiles, totally Liefeld.
Totally possible.
Where'd the feet go?
Right.
Rob, I have the Snake Eyes. I haven't opened it. It looks good, even in hand, but
game came out on time.
Yeah, and Rob hasn't done a Rack Time episode since.
Killed.
He basically retired based on that.
Killed Rack Time. But, as you can see there, pre-order on this is open now. It is expected early 2025. Retail price suggested $35. This is an import, so it'll probably cost you a few dollars more than that. Includes the pistol. He's got a whip. He's got a knife. He's got that croc hook. He's got a leash for Fiona. He's got extra set of hands. And oh my God, the teeth. Loads of teeth. That's one toothy gator. So I know that picture does not do it well. You can check it out over at Hiya Toys website. But you need to know where to get Hiya Toys. Follow this link, hiatoys.com/pages/where-to-buy. Give you all the sites in the U.S. that are selling or importing Hiya Toys in. It's not going to be any place where there's any competition from a U.S. retailer for any 1/18 or classified product. So basically all your small retailers are, if they have the option, they seem to be picking up on Hiya Toys. You're getting yours from Cotswold, Mark?
I think mine are all with Cotswold, and little birdie told me they're not real thrilled with how it's going either. So
I wouldn't be.
Yeah. They look good. I'm a big fan of the line. Other than the Tomax stuff was problematic.
Yeah, those Tomax and Zaymont were not good.
They were not good. But beyond that, I've been happy with everything. So I would like to buy them if they ever actually exist.
Rob says, I would buy that bury that mini-series in the yard, but it would kill the grass and attract wolves.
Makes sense.
Anyhow, next news item. Hey, look, it's the Kickstarter for the Skybound Real American Hero Compendium. Bear with me just a second as I play the requisite. Oh, there we go. Thankfully, Brian did not have his eardrums blown by the sudden ringing of Motley Crue. But they put out an update this week. I don't know if it was a whole lot different than the previous weeks. Launches May 28th. So wanted to make sure we got this on here. I'm not sure we're going to have a show next week. It kind of depends where my schedule is. So there's a lot of stuff that's or a couple items that would normally be on next week's program that I'm going to throw in this week too, just in case. But again, if you've been living under a rock, this is going to include all the comics published by Marvel in the 1980s and 90s, including G.I. Joe Special Missions, G.I. Joe versus the Transformers, G.I. Joe Order of Battle will be part of this. It's going to be in the hardcover format, not to be confused with these softcover trades that were announced earlier this spring. And of course, there will be secret bonuses. So head over to Skybound's site or over to Kickstarter. Check that out for yourself.
Mike, can you go back to the previous image? Do we have the technology? Nothing wrong with it. But every time I look at it, it reminds me of a Suicide King playing card. The one who's got the sword up going behind his head. Every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, there's that Suicide Commander. All right. Or like
I mean,
Zartan got loose with the bow, right?
right.
He was just dropping fools.
Just left anything that moves. So next news item.
Doo-doo.
Coming out tomorrow from Skybound, it's Real American Hero 306. This is the one we told you about a couple weeks back with guest pencils by Paul Pelletier. Of course, written by the legend himself, Larry Hama. Colors by Francesco Segala. This is rated Z for Zartan. Can't tell much from the cover, but it is a Zartan story. Available at your local comic shop and fine retailers everywhere tomorrow. Brian, you been in on the new comic?
I have been. I've been enjoying it. I've actually, and even the Real American Hero seems to be taking a little bit of a little more of a lively step forward.
Yeah. Yeah, the switch in publishers was something of a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
But that's good. Anytime you can get that kick in the pants.
Definitely. It seems like the sales are going nutty too.
Yeah. What was it? They went to third printing on 300 or 301?
Something, fourth, fifth. I don't know. I can't keep track of this stuff. Every time there's a new printing. It seems like every week, new reprint.
There's no shortage of Snake Eyes covers over the years, right? But this is the first one I remember that actively featured two fragged, as in past tense, Vipers.
Yeah.
Cool. That was a bad end. They brought grenades to a gunfight.
Right.
Yep.
They brought anything to a Snake Eyes fight. That's a bad recipe. Especially now that he's talking again.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot to say, too.
For the record, I called Clone Body years ago. I'm on the record as saying it's a comic book. They'll bring him back. He's not dead forever. They'll just make a clone body or something like they've done with how many other characters and bring him back.
I was pretty sure the first thing he was going to say was, there's no way Rachel would have gone for Ross. Ross is a loser. I've been sitting on that one for 15 years. Come on.
Right. But, I mean, you know, he in Ross's defense, he's smart enough to come up with the Moist Master. You get the bread with the gravy in the middle of the turkey sandwich. That's a good move. If
Rachel had truly dumped him, he would have had to pivot. Just say.
Oh, good Lord. As I judge a man based on what he can do with gravy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's I mean, that's I've heard worse ways. But next news item. Also coming up soon on May 22nd, Cobra Commander 5 of 5. That's right, the finale of this groundbreaking miniseries. Written by Josh Williamson, pencils by Andrea Milana and Annalisa Leone. Rated H for Hordes. Look at Cobra Commander taking his rightful place in front of the army there. Again, this is not tomorrow. This is available a week from tomorrow. Brian, what do you think so far the Cobra Commander miniseries?
I think it's a wonderful mashing of some things that I would have never thought I would like. Cobra Law.
I was about to say, you're dancing around Cobra Law.
Yeah. Actually, like giving it purpose and meaning in a universe and not making it just such a, I don't know, a trope. But it's actually, really is one of those things where I want to find out what's next.
Right. Did you check out the Energon special?
Yes. Got the free comic book day special. Yeah.
Right. It's exactly the same as the one they sold, the Energon Universe special.
Yeah.
But cool doings there. We got to see Globulus actually do something.
Right.
And it was impressive, no less.
It was.
He got to ride around on that big Star Wars lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. No, I thought that was just, again, they're pulling all the strings together. Like it doesn't feel forced.
One thing I'm glad they're not doing, which they seem to be doing in the Transformers title, is introducing characters just to kill them off almost immediately afterwards.
But it's Transformers. They don't really die. They just they're just running low on energon.
I mean, they don't really die until they tell them that they're actually dead.
Right.
Like they killed Bumblebee.
I killed Bumblebee.
Well, yeah.
That's special.
You're still asking for roses for it, I see.
Man, you should have seen the look on the IDW guys' faces when I'm like, all right, we had our stories. I'm like, how about you guys kill Bumblebee? And they were like, we can do that? I'm like, yeah, you can do that.
Frozen between shock and horror and wait, we can do that?
Right. And then I said, let me tell you my plan for Megatron the Autobot. And they were like, oh, I don't know about this new guy. But you know what? Kind of worked. Just saying.
Yeah, it was it made for an interesting Megatron story, if nothing else. Mm-hmm. It certainly brought some new life to that character.
My favorite bit of that was that he was stranded basically on a lost ship with Autobots, but he had Ravage with him, and Ravage was basically the devil on his shoulder the whole time, being like, "What are you doing?" At what point do we blow up the engines and get in the escape pod? Not now, Ravage. Not now.
Settle.
Right. And literally one of my favorite pages in comics, or even solo panel. Spoiler, cover your ears if you haven't read it. Later on, Ravage gets killed, like legit killed. And they show Soundwave across the friggin' galaxy, like standing at a panel, go like that, right? Like he knew
right
that someone killed his cat. And he didn't say a word, but it was one panel. It was awesome. So there you go. I had nothing to do with the Soundwave panel.
Right. I mean, it sets some other things in motion in the story, I believe. So
yeah. But I love that panel.
For IDW's Transformers run, that first run before they rebooted it kind of ended it was a bit of a mess, right?
Kind of, yeah.
But they did some good stuff. If you're looking at small stories, they did a good job. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at the big story, you're kind of like,
yeah, it was kind of all over the place. But the Lost Light book for years was my favorite Transformers writing ever. And the idea that at the very beginning, they get a warning from themselves in the future that makes no sense. And the 4 things they tell them to look out for all happen in the story over the course of the next 3 years. That's friggin' awesome. So, kudos on that.
But
what were we talking about?
Cobra Commander 5.
Oh, yeah.
Be there, be square, May 22. Some Skybound bits while we're talking about the comics. June 5th is the release for the Duke trade paperback. June 19th for the Cobra Commander trade paperback. Those are the collections of the 5 issues that have gone out and done 3 and 4 and 5 printings apiece. But hey, if you missed it or you just want a reader, here you go. There you are. Probably some extras involved there. So not to be dismissed. Next news item.
Doo-doo.
Hey, I'll throw the plug in there one more time because it's my birthday and screw you. Mm-hmm. But I was on Joe podcast last week talking about 1986 Beachhead and show lore and all kinds of other stuff. Joe podcast available wherever you get your podcast. It is audio only most of the time. So if you know, I always use our good friends at Podbean, home of the What's on Joe Mind audio feed. Mm-hmm. But you can get it through whatever, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Doesn't matter. Wherever you get your podcast, you can find Joe podcast. Listen, there's going to be a quiz. Next news item.
Do.
Hey, it looks like that's it. Remember to tune into the G.I. Joe 3D printing podcast for all of your G.I. Joe 3D printing needs. If there's ever some G.I. Joe or some Chunky Tank Kitty news in the future, that'll be the first place you hear it because Lord knows Michael is but responsible for all those. Doug Dello says no homework. Sorry, man. There's homework. You guys don't get out and listen when I go to other shows. So there's going to be a quiz on this show, or we're trying to bump other people's numbers so they ask us back. Damn it. We like to play in other people's sandboxes.
Yes, because you can poop there.
Right.
Hey, I'm looking at this photo closer than maybe I ever have. You see how the bottom box, the center box, is sagging a bit?
Well, there's a cat on it.
Well, and how the cat looks pretty perturbed. I'm just trying to go through the order of operations here, because I think at some point the step was seal cat in box, place in turret, basically, place turret on main tank body, and then open lid, which I think is why we're getting the box sag coupled with the cat being really pissed off.
I think the cat looks kind of perturbed because he's a cat.
It could be.
I mean, and mind you, I'm a cat guy, right? I like cats.
Yeah.
But some of them, sometimes they just look pissed off. Sometimes that's just how it goes.
I agree with you, but I still think I'm onto something here.
Look, I think maybe you've been staring at this for too long.
It's possible.
As Josiah Alcorn says, all right, now it's time to find out from a native how you're supposed to pronounce Des Moines. Yeah. It will be that time in just a moment. Now that we're done with the news, once you hear from our good friends and wonderful sponsors at Kokomo Toys, we'll be right back.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
That's right. Online only, coming June 1st. A.R.M.O.R 4. Operation A.R.M.O.R 4. Here we go. Time to announce the big show, and I screw it up.
That's all right.
So
do it again.
Yeah.
Operation A.R.M.O.R 4. We'll fix it in post.
Mm-hmm.
Live from Des Moines. Oh, damn it. Oh!
It's pronounced Des Moines. It's French.
Des Moines.
Well, it's Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Des Moines. No.
Got to get that whole thing back in your sinuses.
Yeah.
But Brian Sauer.
Yes, sir.
What is Operation A.R.M.O.R? Give us some background. Why did this get started?
This got started through COVID. Obviously, we were all, loving our lives and living in solitude, and decided let's try to bring the show home a little bit, and got our friends together, did some pre-recorded stuff, did some live stuff. But the whole idea of the original one was that we were going to, it was all about the mail-aways since everybody was stuck at home. We thought that was a pretty good tie-in there with that. And then highlighting all the background that we got from mail-aways and things like that. So, it really just turned out to as a replacement for our normal assembly required. And that seemed to go pretty well. And people kept on asking, when are we going to do another one? And didn't necessarily think this was going to turn into a thing, but people asked for it. We did another one. People asked for it again. So as long as there's people out there who's interested in this stuff, and we pick subject matter, and sometimes it's really obscure, or I guess polarizing would be the word I would use, maybe for some Equal Force, but it's good information. It's really playing to the fandom and really understanding what came into this. So like for Eco Warriors, we're really diving deep and with the declassified guys and figuring out, going through piece by piece, like the history and how we ended up getting what we got and some of the things we didn't get in the line, where they ended up at and things of that nature. And then we've got another panel with Vinny. He's going through and talking about his time on the line and what he had to do.
And for the record, that is That is Vinny DeLeva.
Yes. Sorry.
And what did he do for the line? Just again for the folks at home who are maybe newer fans.
Yeah. He was brand manager at the time
During Eco Warriors back in the 90s.
Yes. During the Neon years. Yes.
Oh, now you went and put it in terms that angry people up.
I know. Like I said, it's kind of polarizing. It can be, either you love it or hate it. I'm like, I never had Eco Warriors, Toxo Zombies, or any of that stuff. I was out of Joe at that point, and over the years picked them up and kind of got a little interest in them. But after going through all this stuff and working on the various pieces, merch, and stuff like that, like I got a newfound appreciation for some of this stuff. Right.
Even if you don't like the Dayglow figures, you have to appreciate the design of the sculpts, and some of the work that went into constructing these things. Because Lord knows they're intricate. They're a heck of a lot more detail involved in a Toxo Zombie than there is in, say, Clutch from 1982.
Right.
So maybe it didn't hit the same kind of home run, but you can't take away from the amount of work that went into it.
Yeah. No, and again, fascinating stories, fascinating reason why. It wasn't just, I think that's the thing, is like, you think some of these mistakes, or some of these were mistakes that were just randomly thrown out, and no, they were calculated, they were discussed, they were talked about, they were put into storylines and really, worked out, and in some cases, or most cases, there was some type of real legitimate military kind of thread that followed through.
So Cheapest Big Spender real quick wants to let us know that it's pronounced Demoist.
Yeah.
And then adds that it doesn't matter how you say it, it's for lovers.
True. Very true. It is all for lovers.
That's why it's so moist.
Yep. Kind of like a piece of cake.
Right? And that's the sadness of this whole story, is we ain't got no cake left. But just the side note on Vinny, that I think almost everybody knows that he's just cool, right? So that's the name they gave the character, right?
Yeah.
And the face too, right?
And not exactly. Let's be nice,
no. The scar's a little smaller.
The base, yes.
Yeah.
But Eco Warriors did get its fans. We kind of picked it up later, as Matthew Matson says here. He liked the Collectors Club. Eco Warriors Zombie said it was a great use of the idea. I agree 100%. That was one of the more fun they did from late in the run there. Firefly notes that A.R.M.O.R exists because this fan base is amazing. Well said. Well done, sir.
So true. Yeah.
So Brian,
and also because Brian works his ass off.
Well, that too. Yeah, Brian is kind of the Santa Claus of Operation A.R.M.O.R, right?
Yes,
yes.
This fan base has been amazing for a long time, but it didn't just create an A.R.M.O.R convention.
Right.
There's some work involved.
There's a little bit. Yeah. There's some.
Brian caught some reindeer and sprinkled some magic on it, and they flies around. No, wait, that's not what happens at all.
POW convention. You just add water.
Yep. There you go.
Like sea monkeys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
yes.
God, I'm having flashbacks to when I was running CoilCon, so I gotta.
Yeah, this one's a little easier. This one's doing the online thing is a lot easier. It's not as much to wrangle, and once you're done, you just hit play and you don't have to worry about it. Like, you don't have to move tables and lug people around and try to get people to move and all that kind of stuff. So that makes it a little easier. A lot more prep work, but
so it's a little bit more of a relaxed timetable, I imagine.
Yeah, and we set the timetable. We have yet to do it on the same time frame, same period. It's been 6, 7, 8. What are we looking at? 9 months since we did the last one, and then it was a year and a half between 2 and 3. So, we just kind of, as things progress and things work, we get ideas, and how it all kind of turns out.
And so let's say that you're not going. I'm not doing anything on June 1st. Where do I go to register for Operation A.R.M.O.R?
You just need to go to YouTube. We'll post the link on YouTube and go from there. Or
it could be on YouTube right now.
It could be, but it's not.
I tried to set you up. I tried to set you up for the layup there, Brian.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, look at your screen, man.
I know. Yes. Go to our website, codenameiowa.com, and shop at the store and pick up some of the lovely merchandise we've created for this. Go to the website, check it out. There'll be a link on the website when the time comes, or go to Facebook. Go to the Facebook event. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, any of those kinds of places. We usually show up there for a while.
Yeah, Facebook does update quicker than the website does, so that Facebook is a great place to get all the up-to-date information. Brian, what day do people need to be registered before June 1st? Is there a date? Can you operate?
There is no registration or pre-registration for this.
Okay.
You can, you can join us. We'll broadcast it live and for everybody to enjoy. That's kind of one of the fun things about this is that it's a low point of entry.
So you've put together some slides for us.
Yes.
Mark, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off there?
Nope.
Mark?
But we'll do it later.
My bad. We'll fix it in post. We'll do it live. Anyway.
We'll do it live.
So if you would, Brian, talk to us about what you've sent along.
Yeah.
What are you looking at here?
Well, you're looking at your chemistry set, your A.R.M.O.R official kids chemistry set there with maybe Dr. Venom on the front there. That's the shipping box for the gear kits. We kind of came up with this concept for the gear kits that would, basically give you all your convention exclusives in one handy little package there. So turns into a Toxo Lab play set. Reminiscent of the play mat that we never got, that was in the highlighted in the catalog. I believe it was 92. Pattern exactly the same as it is. There's even a little light spot where you can put your Toxo Lab right in the middle there. Turn into a little diorama and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun putting that stuff together. A lot of little details, a lot of little Easter eggs in there and stuff. So
it's a good enough Easter egg just tying all this Eco Warrior stuff back to Dr. Venom, right?
Right.
Just taking those two loose ends and sticking them together. I think that's great right there. That's cool on its own, but to actually make this serviceable with the Toxo Lab set, should you be lucky enough to have one of those.
Right. Yeah. I don't have one. That's my big hunt on Joe Fest is going to be for a Toxo Lab.
What about that one they did with Valor versus Venom? Whether that change thing that turned Hawk into, does that work?
I don't know. Actually, sure it does. Why not? Plenty of space, plenty of landscape.
Right? Probably easier to get a hold of.
Yeah, exactly it.
Rob with an important question. Any radioactive materials like the chemistry sets of old?
No, unfortunately not. Well, I take that back. There might be a couple surprises in there.
How are Iowa's laws in that regard?
No, we don't ask.
Okay.
We don't
That's
ask.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
I heard the delivery van with the plutonium ran into an all-night photo booth.
Yeah.
Could be a problem.
Yes,
right. Your cohort, Travis Weber, says he can make that happen.
Oh, that's great.
Let's be clear to all the authorities monitoring the broadcast. That's Travis Weber with two B's.
With two B's, Travis Weber.
He don't even spell it right. We are not related.
Former guest of the program, Travis Weber.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff Butler says, I'm fortunate to still have my Toxo Lab complete. It was at the end of my Joe collecting, so it didn't get much play back then. Awesome. You need to get into your Operation Armor kit is what you need to do.
Absolutely.
That's your next step right there, Jeff.
I want to see the kid who was like 6 years old when it came out, who was like, I played the out of my Toxo lab, man. Forget the tanks and the planes and the helicopters. My Toxo labs beat to hell.
Rob notes that the Toxolab was repurposed for a Batman and Robin playset for Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
Might be cheaper.
interesting.
Right.
There you go.
Right. So that one is out there for if you got to have your Toxolab in goth black and gold, that's the place to go.
The Arctic Toxic Lab. I like where we're going here.
So what is next, Brian? What's on slide number 2 here? What are we dealing with?
Well, okay, so in conjunction with Mark II Design, we created a conversion kit for all those barbecue marauders that are out in the wild there that you can go pick up real cheap and turn it into this, can't say Steel Brigade, they are Steel Corps.
There you go.
Steel Corpse, green shirt, Toxo Trooper.
Mark will send the Vala police after you.
Yeah, you say Steel Brigade, you're going to be my friend cease and desist, baby. Come on.
I was going to say, I think out of all the violations we do, I think this is the lowest one on the total poll there.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But no, these are custom paint samples by Mark. I came up with the initial design for the mask and the secondary, and then Travis and Mark worked on coming up with the idea for the Toxo gun that really shoots. So this thing actually has a plunger in it and will shoot about 30 feet of water, or shoot water about 30 feet. So
nice.
This is a real fun one. So this is one of the colorways that we were playing with, and I think the next slide is another one that's more of the homage to Flint.
Yeah, Cheapest Big Spender notes that it's the Slaughter Marauder Barbecue Ghostbuster with Slime Blaster.
There you go.
Straight from Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
And here's the Flint looking guy. That looks really, really pretty good.
Yeah. No, these are fun. These are fun. Actually, I've got my kit, my prototype kit around here somewhere that I actually just started painting yesterday, that I really am dying to just spend the weekend at it and putting it together. But the next slide should show you everything you get with the kit. So the rubberized secondary, rubber tubes for the connect to the mask, the ever important plunger in there, the syringe that nests neatly into the backpack. And Mark did an awesome job engineering the backpack to fit to the secondary, and the way it just kind of snugly fits on there. It's like so much better than the backpack that you would get with the regular figure. It doesn't fall off. It locks into place. It's really sturdy.
If we know one thing about Mark Gerwig, Brian, he's a mad genius.
Oh yeah.
It's terrifying, frankly, on one level, but we're glad he's on our side.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. No, he has been a lifesaver for us. So he's allowed us to do a lot of things that we've dreamed of, that I can draw up, Travis can print, and Mark can get us the in-between, can get it from a crazy idea in my head to making it actually work for Travis. And he does the hard part.
That's very cool. And it so everybody notes, this is what that stuff looks like unpainted.
Correct. That's
so if you want it to look like it does in here, it's going to take a little bit of brush skill on your part to get it from there to there.
Yes.
But very really not too terribly much. It looks like something that perhaps even the honcho Mark Weber would be able to handle paint-wise.
I might just only use a black Sharpie. And I'll legit cross the streams, and I'll make Night Force Eco Warriors. It'll be really good.
There you go.
Saving the planet at night.
My black slime launcher will shoot some Dayglow slime.
There you go.
I'll have my flint. I'm all set for it, and then I'm like, I only have brown. and it'll be Tiger Force Eco Warrior.
Did you like for the thumbnail, Brian, how I found some Dayglow blue slime?
Yes.
Did you like that?
Yes.
I was deliberately trying to impress you with that.
Yes. No, I think I've had so much fun working with Dayglow colors, and just the way the green reacts in RGB on screen sometimes is blinding, to say the least.
I have retinal damage.
Yes.
So what do you have coming up next year? Here is a bit of a codename Iowa specialty, your calling card, if you will.
Yeah, the Cell Pop card backs. So yeah, you get all 9 of the Eco Warriors line in that. These are yet finished, or the image that's on there is not finished. So you get to see Deep Six's face and Barbecue's face in there. They've got some lovely expressions going on in there. And then if you order the entire kit versus just by piecemealing this, there is a special unmasked cesspool that is coming with that. So
very cool.
Yeah, there'll be a 10th bonus card in there.
Did you get Vinny to pose for it, or
no? She's too shy. It's too shy. But no, the one fun part about this is that on the back there's all original file cards. So basically updated, taken from the lore, taken from the comic book, taken from the cartoon, which give or take. Take or leave. But
right, they did appear in the Deke cartoon, so
yes,
things get a little shaky at that point.
Yes, they do. But it is just kind of original, telling of a more consistent story.
Excellent. Rob putting out a call for Eco Warrior Snake Eyes.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not the 2000s, so probably not going to happen. Probably not. Although Eco Warrior Batman is probably was not far from production.
No, not at all.
He had to fight Mr. Freeze's Toxel Lab.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we've got this cereal box of Eco O's, which I have to say, did this actually exist? I would not touch it with a 15-foot pole. But tell us what was the inspiration? What's going on here?
Oh, well, one of the things that we're known for is at AR, we do our cartoons and cereal in the morning while we're getting ready to launch on Saturday. And so as a tribute to that, we've been making these fun little fake tissue cereal boxes. So this is the actual size of one of those little mini cereal boxes, the 1 serving boxes and stuff. Right. So yeah, having some fun with that guy.
What does aloof stand for?
Aloof. Oh no. Something that I don't remember off the top of my head, that the photo's too small to look at. Usually I prep and I read some of the stuff over again, but
I mean, I appreciate the honesty, if nothing else.
Yeah. It's the Administration for Limiting On-Site Occupational Fatalities.
There you go. Okay.
Yes, another product brought to you by A.R.M.O.R. So yeah, this is your safety poster to go up in your break room so that you know what to do in case a uniform malfunction, or you get exposed to some Compound Z, or the Eco Warriors attack. Just kind of rules of thumb to guide by, so to create a safe workplace.
Nothing's better than the Toxo Zombie outbreak icons. That's amazing.
That happens just often enough to get on the poster.
Right. Exactly it.
I like that the Eco O's box also, if you squint, looks like it's Space Ghost's producer. Is that Moltar?
Moltar, yeah.
Moltar?
Moltar. Jeff Butler, it's a new box. Yes, it is.
Bow.
You guys with any kind of time on your hands, you guys are dangerous, man.
Oh yeah.
And so then we move here into some extras.
There you go.
What is this stuff?
You get your Toxo zombie mask, your cardboard mask that you cut out and tie a string around, so you can wear your have your kind of faux zombie Halloween mask, scare the kids, scare the missus, whatever. And then your sticker set, which again, we have some fun with that. And what would Finback do? Because that's how you should live your life, is wondering what Finback would do in any given situation. I think that was a missed opportunity back in 92, 91.
I think he was doing all those public service messages at the end of the show.
Right. Exactly it.
He would just do his little dolphin honks, and then they would subtitle it at the bottom.
Right.
And the kids would nod along like they understood what he was saying.
Wasn't there a pissed off killer whale mad at him for taking his spot? Right? Wasn't there? There was a different animal first, right?
It was supposed to be a killer whale originally, and then what was it? The story went that somebody thought that the killer whale was too aggressive, and the military was actually doing real things with dolphins, and then the paint app one of the first paint apps didn't change or something like that for the tests, and so they came back dolphin with killer whale coloring.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, they said it would never work, and now fast forward 30 years.
Yeah,
we got a rogue gang of orcas off the Strait of Gibraltar, just sinking yachts left and right on the road. Just be like, "Hey boys, there's another one."
Oh man,
let's get them.
And they surface and they clink bottles together, which is hard to do if you're an orca, and then it's on.
Well, they pop up out of the water SeaWorld style, and they use their two a bottle on each flipper.
Yeah.
Clink, 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 clink. They played heavy metal music to try and drive them off, and all it did was attract more.
Right. Right. And now they're a bunch of punks with a bunch of piercings and leather jackets, and it's bad news, man.
Right, you don't mess with those orcas. Finback is he's like the nerd.
Right,
he's the establishment guy.
It's now straight out of Fear and Loathing, right? We can't stop here. This is orca country,
right? And are those stickers or pins?
Those are stickers.
Okay, all right.
Those are stickers.
I mean, if you had what would Finback do? That is instant sale. I'm just sending it in.
Yeah.
I'm ending the show to go buy it right now if that's a pin. But I gotta go. Click.
I love that his body language. If a dolphin can have body language, like it just screams that he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I'm a dolphin.
Drawing the expression on the dolphin was a feat in itself. Should he be happy? Should he be mad? Should he be pissed? Should he, what expression does a dolphin have?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of this, I don't know, uneasy joy.
Right. Uneasily genial. I think is that the phrase we're looking for.
It's the look they have at SeaWorld. Like, I got to do the flips or I don't get the fish.
Right.
I ain't taking a whipping for you tonight, kid.
Right.
It puts the cigarette out. How did this happen?
Hurry up and clap, humans. The hockey game's almost on.
How did we get to chain smoking dolphins at SeaWorld? How did this happen? Oh,
just another normal show, right?
I mean, sadly, yes.
Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. And then we've got this guy. Is this showing up on your t-shirts?
This is your t-shirt right there. There. The International Brotherhood of Toxo Lab Workers, United Members of the Leaky Suit Brigade. Figured why not? Why wouldn't you in Cobra's ranks, unionize and, rebel against the subpar safety standards and, shoddy equipment that you get.
Right. AbsorbVids notes, and I agree, that Finback would also make a good tea.
I think we're gonna might put that one up for pre-order here after we get done with this round of stuff. That idea came late in the game, and so yeah, that was one of those things that was just like, yeah, maybe we do need to put that on a shirt. Who knows how many people would be wearing that around?
Hey, man, this has all been cool, but nothing's better than efficiency, expediency,
exposure.
Yep, that's a big one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a terrible union.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, membership is down, which is weird.
Right. when the name of the union is United Members of the Leaky Suit Brigade, that's not a union that gets a lot done.
right.
You'd think that would be the first thing they would be taking care of. that would be, killing off that whole leaky suit problem. That would be the first. But no, bad union, bad leadership.
Yep.
Jesus. All right, that's it for slides that you sent us, Brian. Do you have any renegade contraband?
Oh, there's going to be a few other surprises when you order the whole kit. There'll be things in there. Like we did a blueprint for the All Striker that kind of covers the top to bottom of all the variations of the All Striker in there, all 27 or whatever it was.
Right.
What else did we not put in there? Oh, of course, we do the missing classified catalog, the one that you should be getting with your toys. So that'll be a nice bonus in there as well. Yeah, and a couple other things that I'm just not really remembering, or a couple things I'm keeping a secret. So
right. I mean, we got until June 1st, so I know we're getting you in early. So
yeah,
we wanted to make sure that we were riding the line between going too soon or not having enough time to get exposure for you. So I think
it's pretty perfect timing, because we got to close the window on the pre-orders on this upcoming Sunday. So that gives us enough time to get everything back from the printer and packed up and ready to go and shipped out, so you have it before the show on June 1. So yeah, perfect timing.
All right. So remember, hit up, where'd that banner go?
codenameiowa.com/store. Just go to the store.
Head on over that way. By Sunday, you heard it from the man himself right there. Sunday is the deadline for pre-orders. You can still get this stuff later, barring stock, correct?
Correct. Yes. Limited. There's always going to be we'll always do a little bit of overrun, but yeah, I can't guarantee, sizes and colors and things like that.
So if you're wanting to get this stuff in hand before June 1st, before the virtual convention itself, Sunday is your day.
Yep.
All right.
Sunday or early Monday morning. It depends on what time I get up and turn off the store. But
don't say stuff like that. Just give them Sunday.
Sure.
Just tell them Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday at midnight.
Right. If you wind up not getting to it till 7 a.m. Monday, it's like a gift. It's like free time. Exactly. It's like that untimed period after the end of the soccer game, right?
Right.
But so Brian, what have we not covered? What are things that I just want to make sure we cover all the bases.
Yes. Let me see here. Okay, so mentioned Declassified did a panel. Order of Battle does the interview with Vinny, and we've got Full Force doing their version of a Mystery Science Theater 3000 on the D cartoon.
Okay.
So that should be awfully entertaining. That's the only one I haven't seen so far yet, so I don't know how that one turned out, and I imagine that's got to be pretty funny, because I can't imagine just there being nothing to make fun of in that cartoon.
It's terrible. So I'll try and look past us not being invited to do anything. But that's
don't worry, you'll get your turn. We're working around the community, asking everybody to pitch in.
Anyways, as I purposely derail us into an uncomfortable silence.
Right. Let the boy have it. It's his damn birthday.
Yeah.
All right, so there it is, guys. Be sure to check it out. Head over to codenameiowa.com. Take a look at all the cool stuff that's going on with Operation Armor 4 coming up on June 1st. While you're there, check out all the cool stuff coming up for Assembly Required in November.
Correct.
I haven't forgotten Assembly Required.
Yeah.
And again, if you want to pre-order that stuff, make sure your order is in by Sunday night. Sunday night is the line. Even if it's not quite the line, just call it the line. Just help Brian out a little bit. Help him out.
There you go. Well, and you know, and honestly, all the money goes to funding AR, goes to putting money back into Assembly Required and getting, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, the more funds we raise on this, the easier it makes our job in November.
And we have a question for Diana Davis. Volunteer? ? I'm not sure quite what you're asking us.
You want to come and volunteer? You want to come to Iowa and volunteer for Assembly Required? That'd be great. I'd take it.
Sure.
I'd take any kind of help. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, getting to Iowa is kind of the tough part. I'm not sure there's.
It's a couple flights.
How do you get to Iowa from LA?
Actually, that's a direct flight.
Involves the 405, I'm sure.
Yep. No,
let the boy wear a dolphin.
He ain't going to hurt it.
Oh.
Let me give the dolphin a sponge bath.
So let's move forward real quick. We are running a little long tonight because, hey, we got a guest and we got stuff to talk about. But Brian Sauer, you're not with us all that often, so why don't you help us out with what you got in?
Ooh, what have I gotten in? Top of my pile, Scarlet. Actually found
cool.
in the wild.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I got lucky on that one. So yeah.
I've seen Recondo out and about, but that's the only one out of that wave.
I got a nice shine on that one. But yeah, no, the seems to be the new wave aplenty, except for some of the retro stuff. The retro stuff seems to be getting picked up pretty quick. So
yeah, I mean that retro wave is those three figures are all jammers. So
real nice. Like yeah.
Duke, Scarlet, and Recondo, all winners.
Yes.
If you see a spare Recondo, send it to Joe Colton.
Joe
at joecolton.com.
Yeah, pretty much.
/helicopters.
alt.black.com/helicopters.
So is that all you got, Brian?
That's about it. Yeah, it's been slim pickings right now. Like I'm not. I
mean, you've been kind of busy as we just
got doing a couple things. So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We just got a whole slideshow through.
Yeah.
But Mark Weber, real quick, what'd you get in?
Yeah, I mean, not that this isn't awesome. Oh, I should do the thing, right? Ooh, that's nice, right? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Look at this thing from our friends at Mark II Design, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. That is the replacement vamp cannon.
Let me get you in the big window, Mark. I got it.
Yeah. That's not it. Oh, yeah. Come on now. And it's even got, I don't want to make it pop off or anything, right? But it even does the thing with the do.
Oh, action,
God. So it really, that was my only big complaint about the vamp. I just hated the cannon. And so you can fix it for $30. That's not bad. And then, like I said, I only do Lazy Bastard customs. So this is Iceberg, work in progress. If anybody has an iceberg hat, I could use it because I don't want his ears to get cold. But yeah, that iceberg's coming along. So
that's nice.
More on him later.
Okay.
Because he still needs some work, but the bones are good. So that's what I got.
All right. Looks like it. I got a quick one too, just from Rack Time, Rob. As again, this is my birthday. The illustrated Al, which I didn't know existed, but it's basically a comic book layout of 20 some of his songs, as done by all the top names in the industry. I look forward to getting into this a little bit tonight. Good times. If you don't love Al, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Something wrong with you. And of course, that's right, 156. We've slowed down a little bit in the springtime here because prices are just out of control on eBay. So I'm not encouraging that. I'm not crossing any lines on my end. I'll buy more when they stop thinking that that's a $75 figure. Under no circumstances is 1986 Beachhead a $75 figure. None whatsoever. Don't care how good a condition he is. They sold Beachhead in 1986 and 1987, the two biggest years of sales for the Real American Hero line. The two biggest, 86, 87. He's on the shelf for both of them. Pegs, I should say, for both of them. There are gazillions of him out there, whether they've got, busted crotches or broken ammo bags, notwithstanding. He's a little bit more rare than the, say, Lifeline or Dial Tone or characters that aren't quite as desirable. But he ain't no $70 figure, folks. Stop trying.
At some point, though, when you get up into the 300s and 400s, you're gonna drive up the price in general.
I'm gonna have to be a lot higher than the 300s and 400s, is what I'm saying, Mark. I'm gonna have to be into the 3,000s and 4,000s, maybe.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't. Cool. I'll be dead by then.
Good. So good.
that like the stack of plastic tubs will fall over and crush me, and I will die under their weight.
Does Rob get them when you go, or is he going to go first from a brain aneurysm trying to move two long boxes at the same time?
He's too smart to try that. So, yeah. So again, if you are in fact an eBay seller or a Mercari or a Facebook marketplace or whatever, get over yourself. Not a $70 figure. Stop it. It's not even. It's not. It's. Anyways, I'm not going to give away my personal. Suffice to say, my line is far under 70, and yet somehow I've still accumulated 156 of the damn things. Weird how that works out.
If your fiendish plan to meet Mike Irizarry is to put up a nice looking Beachhead for $70, there's a big flaw in your plan.
Yeah. And file cards do not drive that up any further because again, millions of that one figure probably. Madness. Right. Jeff Butler says even a carded Fun School Beachhead can be found for less than that. I know because I got one of those at a show last year for $15. But yeah, you should be amazed. You'd be amazed at what people are asking for that Fun School one with the Russian file card on the back. It's people who don't know any better that think it's rare, and they're asking hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars. Diana Davis says Beachhead is a cheap date, guys. I mean, kind of. He's not a McDonald's date, but he's a Culver's date. If that puts it in perspective, right? Because again, that waist piece is not the best of parts. So there are a few fewer of them in really good shape because of that. And that ammo bag is an even bigger pain in the butt. So I'm not saying that there are not, there are situations where that figure would be more expensive than your Dial Tones and your Lifelines, but and your sci-fis. Oh my God, the sci-fis! They litter the landscape, sci-fis. But ain't no $70 figure, ain't no $50 figure, ain't yeah. Anyways, I have not come anywhere close to $70 for any of those purchases. Not once. Have not broken my personal line once. Not once. And I've got 156 of them. So it's the one thing that I can claim expertise on in the world of G.I. Joe Marketplace. That's it. And I'll die on that hill. Anyways, Shout outs. Brian Sauer. Who we shouting out to?
Ooh, well, I got to shout out Travis Weber. Got to shout out Mark Gerwick.
What the fuck?
Who else?
Shouted out Weber and Mark, and neither one was me.
Just dancing around the issue.
Right.
Shout out goes to everybody who helps and supports us for coming out to Iowa to support Assembly Required, or who's watching us on A.R.M.O.R. You know, again, this community built for the community, so it's great. We can get support on that. Shout out to my dog Moxie for making an appearance earlier in the show.
Right. Audible only, but still.
Yep.
Still.
Oh, she's right here by my feet too. So yeah,
right.
She just hasn't tried to climb up on me yet. So luckily,
Give it time.
Yeah. So
will it help? Will that help if Weber's cat gets involved? Will that bring her up that much quicker?
No, I don't think so. I think she'll just chill on that.
All right.
If it's if you had a pet chipmunk, that'd be a different story.
All right.
No, I'm just loving the stories about a well-trained dog. I don't have any experience with that particular animal.
Yeah. Well-trained is stretching it. It's a bit of a, she's just desperately wanting to go to bed. So
right.
My dog,
go ahead, Mark.
Not my dog, but our family's dog pooped on the rug, the one rug we have on the main floor, so much that we gave it up, rolled it up, and got rid of it. And now she poops where the rug used to be, like a tribute act.
Yeah. But hey, at least the rug's not there.
Yeah. Hey, it's easier to clean.
She's an outside dog, Mark. It's not her fault.
Somebody should take her outside.
Read the room.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Brian. Any more shout outs?
No, I'm good. I think
All right.
I've shouted out everybody I can think of and then some. So
right. Probably forgot a few. They'll be mad and sending hateful letters later.
Oh yeah. Yep, definitely.
Mark Weber, shout it out.
Mine's simple. I mean, it was Mother's Day this week, right? So shout out to my mom, Nola Weber. Legit the most influential person in my life. So if you like the comedic stylings of Mark Weber, you can thank my mom. And if I annoy that out of you, it's her fault too. So to my mom, Nola Weber, who's everyone loves their mom. So my mom's great. Happy Mother's Day to Nola Weber, back in the Bend, Oregon, mine.
I'm not that quick on the trigger with the background noise, so I can't just throw it up all the time. But I will reiterate that on Mark's behalf. Mother's Day was last Sunday, so shout out to all the moms out there in the world, including our own Joe Colton. Give a shout out to you guys out in the live studio audience. We appreciate you guys joining us every week the way you do. Remember that if you haven't done it yet, if you're on Facebook, give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. If you're joining us here on the YouTubes, give us a like and give us a subscribe and do all that cool YouTube stuff. Remember, we're going to grow this as much as you guys let us grow. And we're not going to do that without all your clickins, because all those clickins is going to be what spreads this video around in all the various G.I. Joe circles that you're a part of. Remember, if you need to share us someplace, be sure to do that in your Facebook groups and on your Reddit pages and Discord servers and all that other good stuff too. Give a shout out to our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Real quickly, we will sing their theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. A little flat there, Sauer. You needed to.
I'm sorry. Yep.
Pitch that up a little bit.
I blame Rob. How are we going to do the quartet with three guys? Come on.
Rob has like a job and crap. Whatever.
Yeah. Trust me, that's overrated. I've been doing a lot of research.
If you are catching us on audio, we appreciate you too. Be sure to leave us a nice 5-star review wherever you get your audio podcasts from, be that Podbean or Apple or Spotify, whatever it is. Again, just so that they know that you're listening and they're getting your like-minded G.I. Joe fans with you. Be sure to leave us a nice review wherever that may be. And we're available wherever you get your podcasts, which seems like it should be some kind of war crime, but it's after 13 years, we remain free.
Mm-hmm.
So screw that, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Give a special shout out to our wonderful guest co-host tonight, Brian Sauer.
Thank you.
Go Iowa.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no worries, man. Thank you for coming on and purveying your wares.
Yes.
We will do our best to continue to plug the damn show and all the way up to June 1st and then onward into Assembly Required this fall.
Awesome. I appreciate every little ounce of help.
Remember, that is codenameiowa.com/store. Get your order in by Sunday night if you want to have your goodies in hand before the show on June 1st. To our wonderful absent co-host, Racktime Rob. He's actually came home a while ago. He's just been hiding out in the back room. So I won't say anything terribly nice about him, but thanks for the book. To Mark Weber, the honcho, for joining us every week. Far more reliable than Racktime Rob.
Right.
And I guess that's about it. I did mention it earlier. Not sure if there's a show next week. We have some logistics to work on in that regard because my Monday and Tuesday are chock full of extracurriculars. So I'm not sure there's going to be a whole lot of an opportunity to put together a program around that. We'll keep you posted as best we can. It may be a Weber night where you get a 45-minute episode.
I'm going to say, I can do a show. They're like 10 minutes long.
Might be a Weber news brief.
Right? We'll play music the whole time. How long is Inagata Davida?
Longer than that one episode that you hosted.
Okay, fair enough.
And you even had Troy McKee on as a guest for that one. And
right? He's afraid of me. Loves Troy McKee, but he has a healthy fear of me because I tried to kill him twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They were accidental, but it's still almost happened.
Yeah, he doesn't bear any ill will, right? He knows I wasn't trying to hurt him, but I damn near got him 2 times in a weekend. So he knows I'm not to be trusted.
Right. Not to be trusted or trifled with.
No, either. Right. I almost got you twice, and I like you.
But that's all we got. Thank you so much for joining us here on What's on Joe Mind. Be sure to join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m., except maybe next Tuesday. But we'll keep you posted. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. So until then, have a great rest of the week. And Yo Joe.
Beer.